All right, and welcome back, explorers, to another exciting episode of Exploration Imagination. Glad we got that on time.
Woo! We finished it. We actually did it right that time.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Kelly.
And we are back with another exciting episode.
Woo!
So, today we are discussing EPCOT.
EPCOT.
So, this one is going to be done a little differently. This is actually based on our trip. For those of you joining us in video land on YouTube and other channels, you'll actually see some clips of our trip out.
Yep.
And we're actually going to review it based on just that trip of us out exploring the park.
Yeah, not the whole park.
No, we're not reviewing the entire park. Eventually, we will review the entire park, but it's going to be in bits and pieces as we go explore. And our plan is, every time we go back, we're going to try something new and try not to go back to the same spots that we went to.
And we did go to some spots that, I don't think I've been to since I was maybe 10.
Yep. So, we're going to start out that journey. So, what we start out first is, of course, Spaceship Earth.
We walked in and I said, you know what, let's do the big ball.
So, it is the classic, it is the icon. Obviously, walking up to it, things had changed. Back in the day, they used to have the big pillars.
Yeah, I hadn't been in a couple years, and you were telling me about the pillars, like, that they're gone now. They used to have the big pillars with all your pictures on it.
Yep, they had all that. And now they just have the fountain again in the middle, which I love. It's very pretty. And the beacon of light, when it lights up at night, it's also awesome. So,
yeah, the beacon of light's a new thing for me. I hadn't seen that yet. It was really cool. A nice little futuristic addition to, obviously, Future World.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, not technically Future World anymore. World Celebration. Yeah,
guys, I'm catching up.
You're going to have to get up to that one.
Oh, my. World Celebration.
World Celebration.
Yikes.
World Celebration, World Nature, and World Discovery are the three sections of the front of the park.
Well, I apologize, everyone. That's just changed. Just used to be called Future World.
Future World and Future World East and West.
Yes. So
back in the day.
Well, and that wasn't that long ago.
So, obviously, we started with Spaceship Earth, a classic. It has gone through different renditions.
Yes.
Back in the day, it had all different. They had animatronics in different spots, and they updated it with Judi Dench and everything. Still the same classic ride.
Yep. The ride track's exactly the same.
Exactly the same. It's all the same. They just put some new stuff into it.
And now they have the you design your where you're from, your future.
You design your own future with it.
And it's a little screen in front of you that it shows you where you're from, and you kind of pick what you want to do.
Yeah, in the future. This one was not working 100% when we went.
Yeah, it was kind of upset.
So what happens is you're supposed to go through, it's supposed to take your picture in the beginning, and then it's supposed to implement your face onto the characters, and that way it almost makes it like you're part of that future.
Yep.
That has not worked. I haven't seen it work in quite some time. I don't know if the system's down, or if it never worked right, because there were sometimes you got like the hard gaps in the mouth if it didn't take the picture right. And of course, you then have also people who, do inappropriate things.
There's that.
So, and they had to go through and edit that. So I don't know which reason that is, if it's just due to technology or if it's due to just they're done with all that. But that was not working.
So, something else I noticed walking up that was new, another new thing for me, was the lightning lane.
Oh, yes. He's never experienced the lightning lane.
I was not experienced the lightning lane yet, so quite upsetting. I haven't been back to Disney in about 2 years. I take that back. I haven't been back to EPCOT in about 2 years. Yeah, and they have gone away from FastPass, everyone. If you haven't been, FastPass is now gone. They have the lightning lane, and you actually have to pay for it. Correct?
Yep, you have to pay for it now.
So they have changed that up, which is that's quite upsetting, because that's really kind of going away from the original dream.
It's about the money. They just found another reason to do the money. Now, and that was the big difference between Universal and Disney, was Disney never had the pay before until now. And Universal always, for their express passes,
has always
been paid. They do it a little differently. It is a little bit cheaper, but it is on almost like the old ticketing styles back in the day when you had the A ticket to E tickets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost based like that. And then some of them you have to pay even extra for like those premier rides.
So, like at Epcot, for example, the premier ride is the new Remy the Rat. Ratatouille.
Yep.
Remy the Rat Ratatouille adventure with Gaston's, or what is it? What is the actual ride called?
Remy's Ratatouille.
That's really it? No, I thought it was something else.
No,
yeah,
pretty sure it's just Remy's Ratatouille.
Well, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure then, and here it is. But that one is the premium ride. That it does cost you extra to even get a lightning lane for that.
Yes. Now, my personal opinion, I think these rides do much better without any lightning, fast pass, whatever. I think these rides were meant for just one single load, and I don't feel like we should have to almost segregate money, like make you pay an extra thing. And some people spend all this money just to get in, and now you're making them pay even more money if you want to ride stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're especially as busy the parks have been, and it was just it was a Friday, and we went after we only got there about 2:00, 2:30, and it was still packed. Still packed. And the one problem I feel also is with lightning lanes is they never know how to properly merge. So you'll have some people that do it correctly, and they do it off a ratio. If I remember correctly, it's supposed to be an 80-20 or 90-10 ratio. So 80% of your lightning lane are express, and then like 20% of your regular lane. And the bad thing that even we saw with Epcot for Spaceship Earth was we were standing in line, and they would wait and empty out the lightning lane completely until there was no one, and they saw a gap, and that there was no one else coming up, and then they would start loading the regular line. Well, this just slows down the regular line and extends the time period where it doesn't need to be, because it's a people mover, right? So it basically is a constant moving. If you hadn't been, it's a constant moving ride. There's always a new car coming up. So there really should be no excuse for a slow line when it comes to a people mover. But it's because of the lightning lane that we had to wait about 20 minutes.
Yep. And like I said, I don't agree with it. I know some do like it. I personally think everything runs smoother without the thing.
But anyway, so as we are on the ride, we noticed a couple different things have changed over the years.
Now, one funny thing though, before we start up, we were stopped on this ride right next to the speaker, telling us how to remain seated, and that the thing was going to move backwards. We were at spiel for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, it just kept going over and over and over and over again. And as we talked about in our previous episodes, things like this happen. It was probably a ride fault of some kind, or somebody had dropped something into the track, so they need to get it. We did actually notice the cast member walk past us and had to pick up a pair of glasses or something like that.
So something set off a sensor.
Yeah, and so this does happen. Obviously, we would have liked to have been in a better place for it.
That was the biggest thing. Was just the speaker. And eventually, we were just sitting there,
just singing it over and over again,
along with it.
I heard it in my sleep last night. It was pretty insane.
It was bad.
For your safety, remain seated at all times. During your slow-moving journey, your time machine will slowly rotate backward and may stop momentarily.
Glasses?
For your safety, remain seated at all times. During your slow-moving journey, your time machine will slowly...
But as we went up, we noticed a couple different things that changed, over the years. One is my favorite of the changes, because I can just see people reaching out for the old paper boy. In the turn of the industrial age section, he used to just be right next to the ride track, and he would be facing out, and he was trying to hand you a paper. Used to be one of my favorite parts of the ride, and now he is facing the opposite direction and has moved further back, because I can just see people have probably were reaching out and
grabbing the paper, and then just from a maintenance side, I mean, if you turn him around, you don't have to worry about any of the facial movements or anything that he had. I mean,
no, so you're just saying lazy? Basically.
No, I'm not saying lazy. It could be a combination of things.
Okay.
I mean, he still moves a little bit, so he still has movement in
paper here, get your paper.
I mean, he did have face movements, which, I mean, if you
are difficult.
A little bit difficult there.
Are difficult. The other couple other different things that we noticed that had changed over the years is the papyrus. Remember the papyrus guy? He wasn't.
Yep.
He was not.
Yeah, he wasn't going all the way down with his hits.
Yeah.
It was kind of like he was waving it up.
Yeah.
higher.
So.
I mean, but once again, that just could be. I don't know if something happened. Maybe he hit something too weird. But I mean, that one.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But overall, always a great ride. It's the
Always
classic Disney ride. You gotta go when you're there. So we try to do that first.
Yep, go sniff the burning of Rome. It's
I love the smell. It makes me feel like I'm at Epcot every time.
Every time. That's why it's usually the first stop for a lot of people. Is that burning of Rome smell? Some people hate it. Some people love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
Yep, but it is definitely a classic. It's fun to go through that one.
So after exiting there, they used to have like a lot of stuff in that little at the exit of that you could do, and that a lot of that's gone now.
With COVID and the touchy stuff. I know. I mean, yeah. So
yeah,
I could see why they got rid of a lot
because a lot of it was interaction, guys, and we used to do it as well. You go in there, it was great for the kids, but due to COVID and everything like that, they've gotten rid of it so that the kids won't be tempted to play with it and touch it because of pandemic issues. But one thing that is if you got to notice it, there's no way else to say it. They have sectioned off the entire middle of the. What is it now? Future? What is it? What is it now?
So, yeah, right now Epcot's in major construction mode right now. They've stopped all of that middle celebration area and nature and discovery all have construction walls up. So they almost force you into these little rat maze wall sections to get you from place to place. So leaving Spaceship Earth, there's no longer any left. You have to go right and almost go behind the scenes as they're doing this work next to Seas. The Seas area.
It used to be the Living Seas, now it's Nemo.
Yeah, so it is cut up a little weird. I do notice that because World Celebration includes the Spaceship Earth, but it also includes Figment. And in order to get to Figment, you have to go through World Nature because World Nature is the seas and the land and such. So it's almost cut up a little weird. I don't know if I would have done that, but that's how it is cut up. But do be aware that when you do go, currently, it is a lot of construction.
And it's a lot more walking.
It's a lot more walking to get around it. I don't know. I don't know why we didn't do left side, finish it, right side, finish it. I don't know why they're trying to tackle it all at once.
Let's do it all at once.
Because if you've listened to our previous podcast, Disney is not the quickest.
And not very fast at building. And currently, it's been like that for probably, 8 months to a year now? Yeah. They've been tearing it down. And, they still don't even have any structures being built. So we don't know when that's going to be operational. Obviously, every time we go, we will give updates. But no, there is not any. There's no hope at the moment of when that's going to be back up and new technology. I'm sure they're going to bring in a bunch of new stuff as it's Epcot, and that's what they love to do. But I'm looking forward to it. But right now, it's a little bit difficult to get around Epcot at the moment.
Yeah. So just be aware that if you have strollers and such. That saying said, Epcot, one of the worst places right now for just stopping in with your strollers. If you do need to stop, go off to the side. There's a lot of that we experienced yesterday, even just in that little tiny alleyway, is a lot of people just abruptly stopping with large strollers or just deciding you want to stop and talk to your family. And it's great and all, just get off to the side because
there's not much room.
Yeah, there's not much room. You're kind of just blocking the pathway and you might get run into because if someone's not paying attention, which a lot of people nowadays are on their phones or whatnot, it happens. And we have a lot of events going on right now with cheerleading events and Run Disney and all that kind of stuff right now. So the parks are packed.
Packed.
They are packed. So
they cannot hold Epcot cannot hold the capacity that it used to because of this construction.
Yes. So just be aware that there is a lot of construction walls.
So as we moved out of
World Celebration.
I don't know the name of it anymore.
World Celebration.
I'm kind of upset about this.
So our next stop was the Seas with Nemo and Friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
This wonderful. First of all, start of it didn't go well. We were told it was going to be 5 minutes, so I did not get a beer. And we walked inside, and it was about a 25-minute wait.
Yes.
So, pretty upsetting about that. So not managing that situation correctly.
Now, just to add a little sidebar, yes, wait times usually are going to be wrong. None of them are going to be 100% correct. Disney and Universal usually try to go over, so that way it's a little ploy that if you're not waiting as long, you're going to be more happy. Because, once again, if you are waiting longer than what it posts, then you're not going to be as happy.
Like we were yesterday.
Yes. So, that being said, just be aware, wait time signs and all that is not 100% accurate.
And so we walked through a gorgeous line. Love the line.
The line is great.
I do like the way they themed the line. I like the projections that are on the walls of the fish swimming and all that good stuff.
Yes.
There's at one point the boat's above you, so you're in the water. It's very cool.
Yeah.
The
theming is great.
Theming's great. They always do that well. Now we get to the ride. Another Omni mover or people mover, as we like to call them.
It is a people mover. It's an Omni mover. It is basically the same ride track as the old ride that used to sit there. They just rethemed it to Nemo and gave it these lovely shells.
So as you go through the ride, you see a lot of Musion screens. These screens are showing. It gives you a false front. Makes it feel like the characters are actually there with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them Musions. The ones at the end are more of the Musion style. The other are just screens with a few animatronic puppets and such. So it is one of those classic rides. One of my pet peeves is the anglerfish.
Yes.
Yeah, anglerfish is kind of a scare scene for some of the younger ones if they are afraid of dark and glowing objects. But it's actually for those who want to know. If not, cover your ears. But for those who want to know, it's actually on a Kuka arm, and the Kuka arm just sounds rough. From a tech point of view, you can hear the motors whirring. I don't know what generation it is, but it might need an upgrade or at least someone to come look at it.
I don't know, maybe put some oil on it. Some WD-40, baby.
Well, what's funny was with most Kuka arms, you have to call the Kuka reps. They don't want anyone touching it, but they're trained people. So, for example, all the stuff over at Journey and such, we actually have a Kuka rep on site who actually would come out if there is an exact problem that needs fixed, because certain things they can't do. I imagine it's the same over here at Disney, where they have to have a rep for that Kuka. Now, it might not be Kuka brand, that might be one of the things. It might be someone else who has a similar robotic arm, or Disney made one themselves, because Disney can do that. But if that's the case, then they need to find someone who can make it not sound like a giant whirring motor every time it tries to go dive for marlin.
It sounds like, I don't know, a robot arm.
Yeah, it does sound like a robot arm.
It doesn't sound like a fish.
Also, the lighting in it, you can see the robot arm behind it. So
But again, guys, we're looking for that kind of stuff.
We are. We do look for that.
On your first glance, you probably won't be noticing it. You will notice the noise.
Yeah, you will notice this. You can uncover your ears for those of you who can.
And so, anyway, as we got off that ride, we went through.
Actually, another thing I want to talk about for that ride is the projection for the turtles.
Oh wow! We both
bad.
noticed that.
That was really bad. So what happens is you have a line of these beautiful projectors. They spend a lot of money on them. It makes it feel like you're there swimming with the turtles and
in
stuff. The tide pool, EEC, or whatever.
EC, the East Indian Current, or something.
We're gonna get so many people yelling us what the name of it is because they're like, you're supposed to know this. We know a lot of things, but some things we don't know.
Yeah.
But EAC.
Got it. See? The
boom.
beers. Cheers.
But that being said, the projector for one of the sections was completely not lined up. It was horrible. Like, one of them was bigger than the other one. It wasn't lined up properly. There were double turtles in sections. It just
looked really bad.
It looked bad. And what's bad is the day before, Julie and I went and scouted the area because we were going to try to plan a path out and such and get some B-roll and such. And it was the same thing. And they didn't fix it. They didn't. It goes down to that thing in the previous podcast that we were talking about was they just hope no one notices.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, I would say even to the untrained eye, you could see that one.
Yes. The double turtles you might get away with, but the obvious giant half of a turtle and the smaller half,
Yeah.
and it's not lined up. Yeah, that one was a
was
little bit
not
more
good.
difficult to pass off.
That one was not good. So after we left out of there, thank you for that one because we definitely needed to talk about that because we both noticed it.
That was pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So when you exit out of that, when you go into the aquarium,
I
love the aquarium. So off to the right, you've got the dolphin tank, which he always playing around, and then you got the manatee rehabilitation center with him floating around eating his lettuce.
Yep.
I mean, I feel the same way eating lettuce. I'm sitting there and I'm laying, great, yes.
Well, but he gets that big off of lettuce. Imagine that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a lot of lettuce.
maybe I should try eating my lettuce in the pool next time.
Me too. I would be considered a manatee.
You're gonna find Instagram photos of both of us just like,
it's gonna be delicious, delicious lettuce. One thing about the dolphin tank that if you haven't been to the parks for a little while, that you can actually do now is they have a restaurant in the.
It's outside of it, but yeah,
you can see
it's on the backside.
It's the backside, and you can
fish tanks and such.
Yeah,
Coral Reef Restaurant. We will actually hopefully get there soon.
Yeah, we are gonna get.
It was packed,
and we could not get a reservation.
Yeah, no, it was packed. So that way you can look the fish in the eye and know who's boss while you're eating fish.
Yeah, exactly. You're eating fish while looking at fish. So
I mean, you don't have to order fish. They have other things besides fish.
But I will eat
But,
fish.
I mean, who's going there
to not eat fish?
To not eat fish and stare that fish dead in the eye and go,
this is your brother.
This is me. This is me saying
and,
dominance. The dolphin's like, I don't care. You're not eating me. It's fine.
But man! As you come out of there, they have a lot of stuff for the kids to do, and Turtle Crush. Talk with Crush.
Yep, Turtle Talk.
A Turtle Talk. You can go in there, and this is a cool show.
Yeah, I'll call it a show, interactive show.
Very interactive show where Crush you can ask questions to Crush, and Crush will answer you.
And Crush will ask questions to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Have a lot of things that he wants to know about as well. It's fun. It's a fun show.
It's a fun show, and Crush is very funny most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time, but not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed.
Sometimes even Crush has bad days.
Sometimes Crush is off. So we won't get into all that and how the turtles. We don't want to ruin any problems there, but
we might talk about some behind the scenes stuff later in a different podcast or whatever.
Yes,
but for now, we're just going to leave the magic of that one.
Yeah, we're going to leave the magic of that one alone. So, after we got out of there, I needed a beer because I had just waited in a 25-minute line. So, Brandon obliged, and we went to The Land. What is this? You were correcting me because I was like, The Land. You're like, it's this. I'm like, no, it's The Land.
So, yes.
Again, we were arguing in the middle of the park.
Yeah, we did that. So, we went to the little land pavilion there. Beautiful area. So, above there, if you go at the top floor, you have off to the right a little show that shows you about planet Earth and such. It's kind of a cool show if you want to sit down, relax. Otherwise, it's a
nice, cool air conditioning for the summer for those summer months.
Yep, it's educational, so the kids, if you want them to try to learn something while they're there. For me, it's a one and done show. I personally think we should have kept Food Rocks in there.
I like Food Rocks.
Veggie Yeah, so I personally think that was more fun. But once again, it's easier to throw up a screen and do that type of stuff.
Then we walked past the Garden Grill.
Love Garden Grill.
Now, we both really love the Garden Grill. Once again, was booked up. We could not get into the Garden Grill, but highly recommend. We've been there many times before.
For dinner, it's a character meet and greets and such with Mickey and all of them. But yeah, it's an all-you-can-eat food. It's all grown right there in the land pavilion area.
Very cool.
So it's all fresh and tastes great. But that also keep in mind, since it is all from the land, sometimes their selections will change depending on what's in season, what's fresh, and
what they're growing.
Yep, because I remember I love when they have the fried catfish there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But once again, it's seasonal. It's not there every time. I know we had, I think, fried chicken one time for it. It changes up. But it is a good restaurant if you can get in. And it's also cool because it rotates And you can see actually into the Living with the Land ride.
And so if you want to see where your food came from at the Garden Grill, you go on the Living with the Land ride.
Yep.
And you can see all their hydroponics. It's educational, but it's also very cool.
Oh yeah, it is a very cool set.
Very, very cool. It's a really cool, easy ride. It's not fast. It's nice and slow. This is a whole family ride. Everybody can get on,
yep.
And it's a great educational tour throughout their facility.
Yep, it shows you the facility. It shows you how the land is, like different continents, different regions, rainforest, desert, and then it takes you into their actual greenhouses and such, and it's great. The one thing I didn't appreciate when I rode it last was some guy was just randomly screaming, "Please remain seated," over the intercom, because after the incident of the girl jumping off the boat to grab a cucumber.
The cucumbers are delicious, though.
I guess they have it monitored now, and if you just slightly stand up, they will sit there and yell throughout the entire greenhouse.
Wow.
Because they don't have specific audio on each of the boats, so they just have to scream at everybody. So, please keep your children sitting down.
And just sit down. Sit down, enjoy it. It's not hot. It's all actually indoors because you're going through greenhouses.
Yep.
So it's not hot outside. It's an indoor boat ride.
Yep.
And it's nice, calm, relax, enjoy it. And that's a good ride. Ride for the whole family.
Yep.
Then they have the food court. We went into the food court
that's where
there.
We got the drinks and stuff. The food court's not bad. It's general food court food.
General food court.
It is broken up into different sections, so you do have like a dessert section and then like a more salady section and main entree section. But so it is broken up. It is quick grab and go. It was a little packed in there when we were there.
Yep.
But the drinks that we grabbed were in just a little cooler, so you could just grab and walk by.
Yeah, and we just got a couple beers, and we walked in. We were going to do Soarin'. So we'll talk about a little bit of Soarin'.
Yes.
But we did not get to do Soarin'. Well, we chose not to do Soarin'.
Yeah, it was a little bit long in the line. We chose to move on. But Soarin', also a great ride. It has changed. It was regular Soarin' before, which was just California. Now this one is Soarin' around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I wish the transitions between scenes were a little cleaner, but that's just me being nitpicky.
The thing I don't like about Soarin',
let me begin.
The thing I don't like about Soarin' is the way they move people through that ride. It's the reason why the line's so long is because it's not designed to be able to move a lot of people. In my opinion,
even with adding the theaters.
Yeah. It was a 110-minute wait yesterday. So you tell me.
Yeah, it's a little bit long. So it's mainly a show with the seats that rise up and move.
Now, it's an extremely cool ride system.
Yes.
And fun fact, they designed it on an erector set.
Yes, they did.
So that is a very cool system that the Imagineers came up with on an erector set.
Yep.
But it is a awesome ride system. It puts you right into the dome of the screen that you're flying on, and it really shows you a cool thing.
So if you're afraid of heights, not a good one, because if you look down, all you're going to see is looking like you're flying in the air.
That is correct. It is so if you are afraid of heights, ask for the third row.
Now, my big problem with that one is the amount of CGI they threw in there. The polar bears are all CGI, which I could have been better. The Taj Mahal, all CGI.
I did not know that.
Because you're not allowed to film it in the Taj Mahal. Oh. That is their rules for their government. Me personally, if I wasn't allowed to film it, I would have told them I will pick a different location. I have plenty of locations around the world I can choose, but you can tell that it is digitized. And to me, it's one of those things where it's like, we could have done better.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things that's a little nitpicky. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Once again, I'm a little bit more nitpicky than you.
Yeah, that's a little nitpicky. But the line situation is probably my problem. Not, you have
a problem with the line. I have a problem with the video.
Yeah, there you go.
We can all appreciate Patrick giving us our spiels in the front.
Oh, no, I do like Patrick.
Welcome to Soarin'!
That's Crunk right there. But as you go through, we left the land. we went up and we did one of my favorite rides, which has changed over the years, but the Imagination.
Oh yeah, Figment with the Imagination.
Yes.
Now I'm on the camp where I'm a fan of the original with Dreamfinder and all that kind of stuff.
Dreamfinder. Yeah.
It's better than the incarnation between what's there before,
which was really
it was horrible.
That was horrible.
But this one's better. But I mean, I would bring back Dreamfinder. Honestly, for the 50th, I would have brought back Dreamfinder.
Yeah, I mean, I like Dreamfinder too. I would agree with you. Oh, but Figment is still awesome.
Yeah, Figment's still awesome.
Yeah. So it's a great ride. One fun thing we noticed there is again show issues at the end. You know,
yes, there's a big surprise at the end.
There's a big surprise at the end, and
one of the sections was not working,
and so the surprise was not a surprise
for the first car.
Yeah,
we were in the back car, but we don't just stay put because that's not who we are. We look around and we enter the scene, and when you look to the far left and you see a dead-eyed thing looking at you
in darkness. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah. I mean, almost as creepy as Dr. Nigel in The Moon singing along to Figment.
Nothing's as creepy as that.
Will give me nightmares. And if for those who have not ridden it, you will see at the end what we're talking about.
It's probably the creepiest thing.
The Man in the Moon singing part is by far the creepiest thing.
Yes.
So
as we moved through the park, we went into land. I would say a land that I usually just stop at and get a Moosehead beer.
Yeah. So we went to World Showcase, and we went to the right, which a lot of people don't do.
Yes.
A lot of people start to the left.
They start at Mexico. Mm-hmm. We started Canada.
Yep, Canada. Yep. So we actually explored this area because you hadn't said you hadn't really explored it,
and I had not, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised all but the last minute and a half of the video. But
so basically we went up to the store at first and we went through and it's got all the winter wear like you're in Canada. Mm-hmm. Very cool. A lot of wood carvings and such.
A lot of cool knick-knacky things.
Yep, a lot of knick-knackings. And it's beautiful back there. Once you get past the staircase in the shop and you get to the waterfall and that rock work in the forest area.
And the rock work with they have the moss on it. I was impressed with that. It was really cool. And I highly suggest just walking back.
It is beautiful. It's a great picture spot. I would highly suggest. And actually, I was surprised that Canada Circle Vision 360 was working because I thought it was actually still closed.
And I was surprised it was still there.
Yeah. But we got down there, we saw someone sitting there and said 3 minutes the next show. We're like, cool. We started walking down and the girl's like, you got a minute. We're like, oh crap.
All right. And hey, fun fact, guys, you can bring drinks into the Circle Vision.
You can bring drinks. There is no sitting though. There are lean rails. Just be aware. And it's actually pretty cool underneath in just the waiting area because you're actually behind the waterfall and you got glass and stuff and it's air conditioned, so it's kind of a cool place just to hang out.
No, it is. It's a good picture spot. Like you said earlier, the waterfall is actually way bigger than I would be expecting, but it's obviously to simulate Niagara Falls. But it's big. It's big for a man-made waterfall. It's great. Oh, by the way, it's man-made, guys. We don't have waterfalls here.
Now, for Circle Vision, I am a fan of the Martin Short version now.
Oh, yeah. It was funny.
It's Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
And it's not funny.
It's more informational than anything.
We did learn some things about Canada.
A lot of things. And the projections are beautiful.
And they're
very
gorgeous.
Crisp HD.
Yes.
And then you get to the song.
And this is the part that I did not like about Canada.
Some people love this song. Some people do. I think it's a little corny and cheesy, and it goes on.
And it says Canada probably, 180 times. It's like they didn't have enough words, so they just kept saying Canada.
So it literally people were leaving.
Yeah, people just started leaving.
During this song. And the cast members were so aware that people wanted to leave during this song, they opened the doors.
Yes.
They opened the doors.
Before the show was
over, so that people could leave just because they knew people don't want to sit around for the song. So be aware, it is a long song. We stood there because I said we have to have the full experience.
And we're doing, because we're doing the podcast, so we wanted to get the full experience, but I was...
Yeah, you were hurting
I was
there.
ready to go.
And then you started twirling in the middle. You see in Canada. It was great. I hope I got that on film.
I did.
If we did, I will be showing it very soon here.
I did have, in my defense, I did have a very strong Crown Royal string.
Yeah, they didn't have your beer, so you had to do a frozen Crown and Coke, which was just a frozen Crown.
It was just frozen Crown. So,
Coke in that
and I drank that pretty fast because Canada was being said so many times. So, I started doing a dance in the middle of the.
Yeah, he did his little twirly dance, expressing his love for Canada,
and everybody was looking at it.
Great. I hope I got it on film.
I do too. I hope the viewers can see it.
If not, we'll have to do a recreation next time.
Yeah, not a problem. Canada. Oh, yeah.
Wrong one. All right, so we got down there. We left Canada. We explored some more of the little paths. They're very tight, by the way. So if one family's going one way, you're pretty much stuck. I stopped because I didn't see Kelly around me, so I was like, where'd he go? And everyone yelled at me.
It was also this is a cool place, literally, a cool place to go during the summer because the waterfall splashes a lot of water on you.
Oh, very misty.
It was very misty. So if you are overheated during the summer, I would suggest walking back there, maybe standing there for a couple minutes because it was 80 degrees and it still felt lovely.
It felt amazing.
So after that, we went and we got
before that, they were just doing the stage. Right past Canada, they have a stage there.
Oh, yes.
We didn't stick around for too long on that one. Because,
Canadian music.
Yeah, Canadian folk music. Basically just sounds like country music. I think it was Alberta Bound playing. They have different acts that come up here. It's not always Alberta Bound. They do change it out every once in a while. I've seen some Scottish groups up there.
I've seen the Scottish groups.
So they do change it out quite often. But if you do like that, have music and you want to just hang out, and like if you have a drink and you don't want to experience
I don't know why
the glory of Canada.
Well, I just suggested I had a drink, guys.
Then you can just sit there and relax with their music if they're playing out.
Yeah, I have listened to Alberta Bound before, and they are very good.
Yes, yes,
they are very good.
All right, so our next stop was England.
Yeah, as you know, if you've ever walked around it, the next stop is naturally England.
Now, before that, there is the festival center off to the right. They do sometimes do events in there. They do private events, full events. Recently, they were doing the Figment popcorn bucket thing in there. So you had to make an online reservation, and then you could go back there and get a popcorn bucket. When they do festivals, like Festival of the Arts and such, they have artists and songs and stuff back there. So do keep in mind if you are looking for the festival center, it is in between those two countries.
Between Canada and England.
Yep, it's a beautiful facility if you ever get a chance to go inside. I try to sneak in there when I do get a chance to go back there.
Ooh,
it is a large facility that is great.
And that's also for the behind-the-scenes tour. That's where they actually put their catering kitchen.
Yep, and also when they do bring it back, going back to the land backtracking, the Seeds tour, that's a great one to go as well.
Yeah, Seeds tour.
So, in fact, I want to do that one next. I haven't actually physically done it. I keep missing it for some reason, so eventually we'll have to go do the Seeds tour.
Seeds tour it is.
But back to England.
England. So, I convinced this guy, because his favorite beer, he loves Guinness.
I do like Guinness.
So, I convinced this guy to go to the pub with me.
I didn't really convince me. My Irish blood went, we should go to the pub.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Frozen Crown.
It is take your drink and go.
Now. You didn't used to be.
No, you used to be able to hang out in there. Right now they have all the tables blocked off. You have to go in, get your drink, and
get out.
GTFO.
And they make sure you...
They will yell at you. Kelly went to the bathroom at one point. I got asked what I was still doing there because I had my beer. Now my parents is in the bathroom.
Yeah, so you do need to get your drink and get out, unfortunately, now. But they do have a lot of mixed beer drinks, which is really good.
They are great.
I got the Snake Bite, which is Harp Lager, and I believe it's a cider. I'm not sure which cider it was.
They didn't specify which cider.
It just said cider.
Yeah. So it might be seasonal or whatever.
Yeah, but it was very good, and I actually want to try the next time we go in there the one with Smithwick's and Guinness. Yeah, that sounds really good too. So they have a lot of fun drinks in there. It's a full bar, one of the few walk-up full bars.
Yep. You can do shots there and such. Breakfast shot's always good. Oh,
Breakfast shots.
Breakfast shot, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is a good spot.
After that, we walked out with our libations,
Yes.
and we went in to explore
England.
Um,
Went through some of the shops. They had the tea and stuff.
pretty
and
amazing that they
sports.
have, like, full-on perfume shop
Yep.
in Disney.
Now, be aware, it is tight in there. So if you do have a drink or whatnot, just be advised. There are walls and people.
He's making fun of me right now because I spilled my drink because someone was walking next to me and I tried to move over. And as you can see, if you are watching us, I'm a large person.
There was a wall, the wall one.
Yeah.
He didn't spill much,
I
but
didn't spill all the beer, but
he was one of those people.
Yep. So after that, we walked out and we did the maze.
Yeah, so that whole section eventually will turn into a Mary Poppins section. So for those who know that some upcoming stuff, that section will become Mary Poppins. So right now, it's just kind of a fun little zone to walk around. They have like a little maze.
Yep.
Now, being tall people, a maze not so fun for us because you can just see where everything's going. Also, not well maintained. If you saw a lot of gaps,
there's a lot
it was
of-
like someone forgot to plant something and whatnot.
Again, going back to the fact that from our previous that things aren't as maintained as they used to be.
Yes. I remember there used to be beautiful hedges there.
Yeah.
But I understand why they're low because that used to be a concert stage on the gazebo area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they used to play music there. Like they did cover bands for like the Beatles and such like that. And right now, and they also used to be a picture spot. So they used it for various things over the years. So I can understand why they cut those hedges a little small. Mm-hmm. But the missing ones are what got me the most. It was like
You can
huge
just
chunks
see it.
missing. And maybe we just went off on an off day or whatnot, but it
I don't
just
know.
kind of threw me off.
After that, we walked out. We saw Alice.
Yeah, Alice was sitting there. Alice was there. We went back there. We didn't get a picture with her because I think two grown men taking a picture with Alice would have been a little creepy. I mean, it could have been fun.
If we didn't make it creepy, it wouldn't have been creepy.
It wouldn't have been creepy.
But,
sometimes we come off as creepy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, you can't help that. Anywhoozle.
Yeah. So, for right now, I think that'd be a good place to wrap up this one.
Yeah.
And we will continue our trip around EPCOT in our next podcast, starting with La France.
La France.
So, join us next time, guys.
See you, explorers.